Hello everybody, this video is about the gaming performance of the HP 14-R206NV. World of Tanks. Well, World of Tanks is a beauty of a game, but only at max resolution and settings. Now, about the gaming performance on this laptop. At 1368 resolution, the game is barely playable, even with minimum settings for the rest of the graphics. The problem is that the frame rate, while is over 20 in sometimes, when there is combat, when there is more than a couple of tanks in the screen, it gets in the mid to low 10s. And when you have to rely on quick performance to be able to shoot the targets or to avoid them, then this is a huge problem, and I definitely do not recommend it at this resolution. However, if we change the resolution to the minimum available, that is 1024 by 768, then the game becomes playable. Of course, we make sure that the details are all to the lowest, although for some reason there I forgot to change the water, not sure why. Anyway, with everything on minimum, as you can see, we go to the game and see that the frame rate is tolerable. It is from the 20s to low 30s, which for this game is quite playable. I won't have any problem playing at this resolution and at this frame rate. At least this game. And I don't think anyone would. Well, apart from some people, I guess, who just refuse to play at lower than 60 frames per second, but never mind them. This game can definitely... this laptop can definitely play this game at this resolution, at this frame rate. Which is cool, because World of Tanks is one of my favorite games, and the only online game I actually play. Yeah, and let's see how I'm gonna die this time. This was recorded a couple of months ago. Yeah. Beautiful move. Uh-oh. Alright, to the next one. Age of Wonders 3. Turn-based strategy game. Quite beautiful game, actually. I haven't played it much. Or barely. Anyway, running at the minimum resolution, 1024 by 768. It's okay. The frame rate is definitely low. However, well, if there is one problem with the game, is the loading times. It's just ridiculous. For the game to load takes a minute and a half. It's just, unheard of in the modern age. However, we must not forget that the system requirements for the game are higher than the specs of this laptop. So the fact that the game actually runs is an achievement on itself. The fact that it plays okay, slow, but not slow as in sluggish, just, lower frame rate. It's fine by me. The game is definitely playable. Now, I don't know how hard it will be later on, when there are many enemies, many AIs to calculate their moves and all that. But still, since it is a turn-based game, I don't expect it to be too much of an issue. The game itself, the main map is a bit slower, but the tactics battle map appears to not have any noticeable slowdown. Worth playing on this laptop? I would say yes, it is. As long as you don't mind the lower resolution and the lower graphical details, of course. Other than that, yeah, it's okay. Next game, Insane. Not Insane the Membrane, just Insane from Codemasters. Playing at 640 by 480, fog on, everything else on auto. The game loading times are fine, great, no problem. There is no slowdown that I can see or feel. There is no drop of frame rate that is worth talking about. Overall, the game looks and plays great in terms of speed. In terms of graphics details, obviously, well, the game isn't the most beautiful game to begin with, but with the lower graphics, definitely it's not going to win any prizes for good looks. But what matters most is how it plays, and you can perhaps get a result that you prefer by adjusting the details level to something else. Overall, great performance. Well, yeah, all things considered. Next game is Apotheon. New game, action platformer, a little bit of everything. Playing this at 1024 by 720 as the minimum available resolution. Here's the thing. The frame rate is not bad, but there is some slugginess on this system. Is it playable? Yes. Is it enjoyable? For me, no. Because there is some minimum but noticeable delay. Perhaps it's just me. Don't know. But I know I wouldn't want to play on this platform if I could. Assassin's Creed. Alright. I didn't play past the tutorial because I can't stand tutorial. And I wasn't really able to. Now, the game, at least in the tutorial, appears to be running okay. Actually, more than okay. Good at this resolution. But will the full game, well, the later game work as well? I don't know. Next game is Bastion, or however it is called, running at 1366 by 768, the native resolution for this laptop. I don't see any problems. I played just a minute or two in the game, so I can't really say what. I don't know what's going on later, but I don't see anything that will cause me to believe that, there are going to be problems later on in terms of performance. Cool looking game too. Yeah, Bastion, sure, sounds fine. Next game, Blitzkrieg II, 1024, 768, medium texture details, everything else on high. The game appears to be running great, without any issues in terms of performance, including loading times. I wasn't expecting to have a problem, since this is not a new game, and it wasn't that demanding back in the day either. So yeah, it appears to be okay. Of course, I haven't played a huge map with lots of opponents and all that, but the nature of the game, of this game, is that such that it just will not affect. I don't think there is going to be any problem with which will affect the performance later on, because you play small battles at any point in time. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, great game, and I'm happy to report it runs fine on this laptop. Yeah, cool. Next game is Bloodrayne at 640 by 480, normal and off the details. Well, I have mixed feeling about this. The game appears to be running fine without any problems, but something tells me there might be problems later on. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But if you want to stay just to the facts, then yeah, the game is fully playable at 640 by 480. Cool game too. A bit violent, I would say, but yeah, who cares? Next game in line is Carmageddon, the original DOS version. Details are set to default, so most of them are on or full, apart from one, which I just noticed. The menus appear to be working fine. The intro was okay. No real problems. A loading screen and everything else appears to be just fine. Now, in terms of frame rate, oh yeah, please forgive for my driving. In terms of frame rate, I would say it's good. It's fully playable. But, I don't know, there is something. Perhaps it's me that I haven't played the game for a long time. So I can't really say that it is a performance issue. Perhaps a DOS box issue. It's possible. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, the game runs fine and it runs better than it did on my system when I originally bought the game. Yeah, cool game too. Definitely. Next game is Deathtrap Dungeon, a 3D action adventure game running at 800 by 600 and everything else at default. There are many options. Anyway, the game loads quite quickly. There are no problems in frame rate, at least in the first few minutes of the game that I played it. Everything appears to be running smoothly without any issues of performance or otherwise. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I should be happy about it. Let's face it, it's not the most demanding game ever for 2015. But, yeah, quite good looking game too. Apart from the walking, it reminds me of one time I really had to use the bathroom. Anyway, not bad at all. Next game in line is Far Cry 2 at 640 by 400 or 480. Anyway, yeah, the settings are low, resolution is low, but the game still looks quite good, and the performance is amazing. I don't know how fast it was going, but I'm pretty sure the FPS was well above 30. And there's nothing to worry about in terms of performance, at least at this resolution. And there was no slugginess, no lag, no nothing, even during fights. I'm quite impressed actually. Yes, you run it at low resolution, but let's face it, this game looks good, even at this low resolution. And actually I should go back and finish it. I have reached quite close to the ending, a couple of times, but always something happened and never finished the game. It's a good game, I like it. I think I like it more than Far Cry 3. Yeah. Next game, F.E.A.R. The first one. It automatically detected my system. No idea what it actually did, but the resolution is, as you can see here, 1024 by 768, 32-bit color. Performance detected it as a medium computer. Custom graphics card. I didn't change anything. I just ran the test. And as you can see here, it does an okay job. Now, I will actually bought the game when it was originally released, and my then computer was definitely struggling. Not just the game, but even with this test, which is actually more demanding at parts than the game. I don't remember the numbers I was getting then, but they were quite bad, and I definitely remember all these sequences for the test to be quite terrible, very slow. It took another upgrade till I can make it run okay. Anyway, great game by the way. If you haven't played it, very good FPS game. And it feels like a modern game. Now the results. Minimum 13, average 28, maximum 55. Very good numbers. That's it for F.E.A.R. Next game. Greed by Codemasters. Oh, Greed. Anyway, you know what this is. Playing at 800 by 600 with various options on and off. I don't remember right now. What can I say? It's wonderful. As you can see here, the frame rate, while I don't have a frame counter, is very good. And the graphic settings are not very low, so you can definitely see how beautiful the game is, even on this machine. And yeah, definitely fully playable, and definitely a game you can play and enjoy on this low-cost laptop, and I assume on any other laptop with the same specs. Good game. Terrible driving. Next game, Batman the video game. Well, Lego Batman the video game. Music and audio on, video settings 720p, everything else on and texture quality high. Yeah, I was impressed too. The frame rate is very good. The game doesn't seem to have any problems, apart from one issue I had at this point. The game froze for a few seconds. I don't know why, but it unfroze on itself. After that, I continued playing just fine, and the rest few minutes that I played the game, I didn't have any other similar issue or any other issue. The game is very well optimized, it looks great, and yeah, I do wonder how the rest of the Lego games run, but I have no reason to believe that they will not be at least as good as this one. Yeah, good performance. Next game, MOTO Racer, Direct 3D Edition. I didn't know what to expect with this game. Playing of course at maximum resolution and maximum settings, 640 by 480. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect with this game because it's kind of a strange game. It can be quite problematic in some machines in terms of performance. Now on this machine it is, how can I say this? Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's just it's perfect. There are no issues, no performance issues, no uh, responsiveness issues, no handling issues, nothing. The game looks and plays as it should. And I'm quite happy about this because it is one of the games that it deserves to be on any machine. And it's good to know that if I want to play it on this one, I can do it without any problems. Very good game. Next game, Painkiller. At 800 by 600, graphic settings at standard. Well, one more game that runs fine. No problems whatsoever. Frame rate remains constant. Perfect responsiveness, no slowdowns, no anything, no problems. You could try to go for higher resolution or higher visual settings. That's up to you. But at 800 by 600 at medium settings, the game runs very smoothly, and it should be okay all the way to the end. Although I haven't finished the game, I have come a couple of levels close to it. Yeah, hard game, but not impossible, but very depressing game. Next game in line is of course Pod, the racing classic, and one of my favorite games of all time. The game runs fluently, or perfectly, or however you want to call it, and I'm glad it does, because if there was some problem with this game, then I wouldn't care about the system at all. There are two systems in the world. One that runs Pod and one that doesn't, and I don't care about the second one. Have I said that I like this game? No. I love this game. Pod. Yep. Next game, Revolt. Running at 3060 by 768, 32-bit color, 24-bit textures, and you can see the rest of the settings right here. Good settings for this old game. And yeah, it runs very good, no issues whatsoever. It looks very good, and it feels very good, so it must be good. It is good. Sorry. Alright, yeah, Revolt, another game that runs great.